Back in the day, I was always hesitant to play this game for several years, mostly because it just felt very boring and outlandish to me. However, only recently, this year, there were some moments that led me to believe I should play it, such as what you're about to see. Yep, seeing this character in Smash instantly increased my chances of playing it and set off wild reactions.
Oh my god, that was a puzzle piece! This is legitimately Banjo when they're showing me that. Oh! Are they gonna do the joking thing? Oh man. Oh my god. Oh! Banjo is back! Look at this! I don't even really care about the games, but I love this!
There was also this really wonderful presentation at the end of the last Nintendo Direct in September 2019 that showcased the fighters Banjo and Kazooie in Smash with all their wonderful moves that was perfectly explained by director Masahiro Sakurai along with some really funny jokes. Take a look.
Banjo picks up a Jiggy from the original game.
Yeah, I can definitely say that I became a very big fan of this presentation and wanted to try out the game for myself. That was until I discovered I had no original way of playing it until I downloaded Delta Emulator on my iPhone and Banjo-Kazooie and Tooie. And after quite a while of playing it, I have come to a really good conclusion. It is a fantastic game, and I will tell you why right now. The game basically starts off with the evil witch Gruntilda trying to find out if she's pretty or not until her pot, Dingpot, basically calls her ugly and says the prettiest girl in town is Tootie, Banjo's sister, which sends Gruntilda on a massive rage to try and grab Tootie for herself. Meanwhile, we see Tootie running off to Banjo's house because he's her sister, and then speaks to Bottles all about what she's going to do that day. After a question, she says, "When my big brother Lazar grows up, we're going on an adventure." And of course, Banjo's sleeping while Kazooie's just watching him. But then Tootie gets kidnapped by Gruntilda because she wants to steal her prettiness for herself, which is not a good thing to do. And Banjo only wakes up when Kazooie starts freaking out next to him. It's honestly very funny to watch. Then after a quick tutorial section with Bottles and Spiral Mountain, we enter Gruntilda's lair where we see just what Grunty is about to be doing, stealing Tootie's prettiness, which is not a good thing to do either. And then the adventure begins. You basically collect Jiggies on all sorts of phases in the lair, including these worlds, and then you use the Jiggies to open up the worlds and enter other places to collect things, similar to Mario 64 stars, except these are proper usage of items here. Overall, Gruntilda sets out rhymes to make it compelling to take her down. From there, you can collect a whole bunch of things in each of these worlds. For example, you can find the Gingers on these islands and all over the worlds. You can connect notes for later usage in the game, which I will explain shortly. And there are other things you can do as well. There are other Jiggies you can find in each world as well, and each time you get this little funny dance to explore. I always like watching this dance. Jiggies can be found out in the open, or by completing certain objectives in the worlds, such as by giving an orange to this monkey over here, who provides help and lets you get a Jiggy for yourself. There are 10 in each world, so get collecting. In each world and in the tutorial, you'll also get help from Bottles, the mole who's also short-sighted. He gives you moves to do in the games, and Kazooie and Bottles often have really funny conversations as well. You can use these moves for strong enemy encounters, like I demonstrated here with Conga basically being beaten up by the egg so you can get a Jiggy. The notes you can also use to get note doors for each of the worlds as well. And once you've done the 9 worlds, which are all very different in size and length and theme, you get to go to Grunty's Furnace of Fun. Sounds as terrifying as it is, which is not. You'll end up in lots of spaces. For example, Grunty will ask you questions about the worlds and also personal secrets that you'll have to discover with Brentilda, Grunty's fairy sister, that she literally looks like a fairy. And when you've discovered these secrets, she ends up as embarrassed as ever. There are also fun mini-games you can play, like this one in Grunty's Furnace Fun with the board game, and a cheat code area you can use for Treasure Trove Cove, which I can't show because that would be cheating, honestly. Yeah, these mini-games are pretty fun, but the whole thing just doesn't seem to be very interesting, as it found out. It is very charming and it's a cool idea, but those Grunty spaces and all the other spaces feel like a slog. And then once you win, Grunty escapes a winding staircase, Tootie is saved, and then we're greeted to one of the most funniest credit sequences ever shown in gaming, where all the characters introduce the staff members to you. And then we get a nice little vacation scene outside Banjo's house, and then Tootie appears and she's like, "You still didn't defeat Grunty, so you have to go and save her." And we all these funny reactions to all the characters as well, particularly Bottles and Mumbo. And then once you finally run over to her, the battle begins. Dingpot launches you to the air when you have 900 music notes, and you get confronted by Grunty with all the funny rhymes that she does. It's actually a pretty nice way of making a villain compelling as well. It's a pretty good final boss as well that she has. It requires you to learn every skill in the game and use them to your advantage, like the red feathers that help you fly. Then you summon the Jinjos to attack her, and this honestly makes it really funny because they try to sting and burn her. Soon after a while, she gets flown to all the end of the castle, and then you get to summon the mighty Gingernator. This is probably one of my favourite cutscenes in the entire game, and I'll let you watch it right now, so here you go. Well, that was certainly a very dark villain death. She straight up died from a rock. Although it is one of my favourites, I really won't lie. So yeah, this game is very fantastic. I will certainly recommend you to play it if you haven't already. It's very good. Whether on N64, Xbox or any emulators, this game is very good and the characters are amazing. I personally award it a 9.5 out of 10. I would give it a bit higher, but Mario 64 I honestly think is better, despite the current 90s war that's still going on today. So yeah, a 9.5 out of 10, this game truly deserves without a second thought. So yeah, that was the end of this review. Next time I'm going to be taking a look at the sequel, Banjo-Tooie. This was also released on the N64 and on the Xbox. So until then, I hope you enjoyed this little tune to end the review. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.